What's up, everybody? It's Patrick Galactic live with you tonight for our second episode of Find Your Weird. And I'm very happy to be here with you tonight. It's been a hell of a time. And I've been kind of all over the place. So very glad to kind of do a little more chill stream tonight. Hope you all are doing pretty good. Just a little shout at the beginning of the show here. The most important part of this show is the community. You can ask me whatever you want, whenever you want. I'm here to hang. I'm here to have a good time with y'all. Really, and we're gonna be here as long as you want to be. So if you want to spend your WAN bucks, I'll do whatever WAN bucks thing you got. But until then, we're just gonna have a dialogue, friends. And if you have a topic that you want to suggest that we talk about, if you want to do some research together, if there's a topic you've always wanted to know more about, but you're too lazy to do it yourself, I'll do it. I'll do it right on screen with you tonight. So there's plenty to share tonight. There's plenty to do tonight. I'm very excited. Dartone has already asked me to hydrate because Dartone, the savior of the Waniverse, is always looking out for everyone, and we thank him for that. You know what's crazy is I've actually been on camera for less than a single minute. That is how much you can say in less than a single minute. Also, just want to put it out to people. I'll say this a couple times throughout the night. I want to do guests on the show, be it live or a pre-recorded interview or something. If you have a story you want to tell on the show, if you have something that you just want to share with everybody, let's do it. Let's get you on Weird at Night. I think it'd be super fun. I'm going to be looking into setting up a Discord call-in. That's something that is in the works so that we can, engage in every way that we can. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you never know, because you could end up, we could end up doing a watch along. We could end up in hell. We could get small together. We could study some shit together. We can chair dance together. Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm just here. I am your instrument. Use me as you wish. And I have some topics for us to talk about because, sometimes it takes a minute for the chat to get rolling. I got a question for you. And you can at me in the chat with your answer. Have you ever been in love with a cartoon character? Were you a child when you were in love with this character? Are you an adult in love with a cartoon character? Have you ever been in love with a cartoon character? Now, I was in love with two women and they both broke my heart. They both absolutely crushed me. One was Betty Rubble from the Flintstones. When I was just a wee, maybe 2, 3, 4 years old, I was absolutely in love with Betty Rubble. But the other person that I was maybe still in love with, Daphne from Scooby-Doo. Holy God, I just thought she was the bee's knees. The bee's knees is what I said. Daphne was the object of my affection for a very long time as a child. So I'd love to know what you think. Make sure you tag me in the chat and let me know. Have you ever been in love with a cartoon character as a little kid, as an adult? I want to know. So let me know. So last night, my girlfriend and I, Dartone says, like, real love or just masturbation? Whatever you want to share, buddy. Whatever you want to share. Savior. Blaze in Space says Dartone is in love with Paprika. That's a good pick, Blaze in Space, but I'm not sure if that counts because Dartone is also animated in love with Paprika. But not, because Dartone's a human being who's just been sucked into Noirland. So, great call. Now, last night, I watched something that everybody else watched many years ago, but I finally bit the bullet and watched with my girlfriend Hamilton on Disney Plus. And holy shit, I tend to avoid things that are getting a lot of hype while they're getting a lot of hype because I just think it's so easy for things to be overrated kind of in the moment. And a lot of times I just end up getting disappointed because somebody will have recommended something and sold it so hard that by the time I see it, I'm just like, I'm expecting so much. So it's not uncommon for me to wait like a year, 2, 3, 4 to check something out that was really popular. I mean, maybe I'll watch Game of Thrones finally in the next like 3 or 4 years. But Hamilton was absolutely amazing. It absolutely earned the hype. Sometimes things get super hyped and it's Limp Bizkit, but sometimes things get super hyped and it's Kendrick Lamar. So you just never know how it's going to shake out. And Hamilton was absolutely worth all of the hype. The music was fucking incredible. Lin-Manuel Miranda, the composer, absolutely stunning stuff. Everybody in the play Absolutely fantastic acting, fantastic singing. I have no idea how the guy who stars as Hamilton kept all of his lines straight. I act for school sometimes in these short skits, and I can barely remember 3 lines of dialogue. Have no idea how this guy remembers all those songs and all that dialogue. It's stunning. It's just stunning. I can't recommend it highly enough. Hamilton on Disney Plus. You're probably not like me. You probably didn't wait 5 years after the fact, but I did. So if you did too, check out Hamilton on Disney Plus. You will not be disappointed, but it is about 2.5 hours long. So make sure you leave some time, because you definitely will not pause it or like stop and come back later. I promise you that. Check out Hamilton if you haven't already. Yeah, just absolutely amazing stuff. And it's, I gotta say, it's kind of interesting to talk about the history of America at this current time, in our living history. America's in a very weird place right now, where we're kind of deciding who we're gonna be going forward. And right now, the answers are pretty scary to me personally, about what America thinks it should be. But reacquainting yourself with your history, and this play is noted for being historically accurate. You really should check that out. It will help you maybe reconnect with some of the tenets and the original ideas of the United States. So definitely check it out. Also, another thing that I found really interesting was this kind of defeats maybe the conventional wisdom that people somehow all believed that slavery was somehow this ethical institution, or that it was sad but necessary. And this play lays that to rest. There were people from the very jump who knew how wrong it was, who knew that we shouldn't be enslaving anyone and conscribing people into labor against their will. There were many people who knew that. There were many people who advocated against it, and there were very few who were actually prepared to risk anything in order to change it. And that the play does a great job of illuminating that, and Alexander Hamilton's personal conflict about it, but his lack of desire to actually do anything about it, if it was going to cost him anything personally. So very, very interesting. So I asked, have you ever been in love with a cartoon character as a child or as an adult? And if so, who was it? And I said, my answers were Betty Rubble and Daphne. And Blaze in Space said D'Artone with Paprika. D'Artone the Third said Face Sitting Counts, which is I'm not even sure. But D'Artone had a question for me. What is a superpower you would want to have but would be useless in a fight? What is a superpower you would want to have but would be useless in a fight? I would want the power to print money. Just like when I stick my tongue out, hundreds just come flying out. Wouldn't help me in a fight, but it would definitely make sure that I was well taken care of while I got my ass kicked. It definitely makes sure that I can afford healthcare after my beating. So I think that's what I would pick. I would pick the super heroic ability to print money when I open my mouth. And if you don't have a favorite cartoon character that you were in love with as a child, let me ask you a different question. What cartoons did you grow up with? What did you watch as a kid? What were the essential cartoons that you absolutely had to see each and every day? I had many, and I was kind of lucky because I got to watch a lot of cartoons as a kid. But I would say my essential cartoons were He-Man. When I was a wee tyke, He-Man was it. He-Man, I think the archetypes of the superheroes I've learned to love later in life are all based around He-Man. But He-Man was a big one. Anarchy and Bedrock says, I watched Transformers and Lone Star. I'm not familiar with Lone Star, Anarchy and Bedrock. Do you want to tell us more about it? Feel free if you would like. But He-Man was a big one for me. Transformers was also a really big one for me. G.I. Joe was huge. I actually did mail away for the William the Refrigerator Perry G.I. Joe. It took like 3 months to come, but it actually did show up one day, and I had a William Refrigerator Perry G.I. Joe. I also had the Sergeant Slaughter G.I. Joe that you also had to mail away your proof of purchase and then wait like 3 months. And there was no internet, so you had no idea if they even received what you sent them. You just kept checking the mail frantically every single day. And as like a 4 or 5 year old, 6-year-old maybe, you can imagine the kind of patience required. And that was very, very difficult to muster. Dartone the Third says, solid answer. Also, you could hire Liam Neeson to be your bodyguard. Yeah, with the money that I could print with my superpower that's useless in a fight, I'd just hire protection. And then I probably wouldn't get in so many fights. I'm pretty smart. Anarchy and Bedrock, I said, tell us about Lone Star. Anarchy and Bedrock says, I don't know. I can't remember much, to be honest. Robots in the Wild West, maybe? Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look that one. Actually, we can look it up together later tonight. In the Wild, yeah, the Wild West. And Dartone the Third says, DBZ all the way! I'm not sure what that's even in reference to. I also watched Nickelodeon quite a bit, and the cartoon, I don't know if any of you have seen this at all, but there used to be like a split cartoon. Oh shit. DBZ, Dragon Ball Z, Anarchy and Bedrock just disgustingly corrected me with clear disgust. I can see it. It's okay. I'm disgusted too. Anarchy and Bedrock, you have every right. I've never watched Dragon Ball Z. I've never watched an entire episode of it. It used to be on right before Adult Swim. Anarchy and Bedrock has also never watched it either. Well, we're in the same boat, my friend. We're in the same boat. But yes, Dragon Ball Z used to come on right before the original Adult Swim shows would come on. The Adult Swim shows being Aqua Teen Hunger Force, C-Lab 2021, The Brack Show, and Harvey Birdman. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z I would watch, the last 5 minutes of it before Adult Swim started. And I was always just absolutely fucking confused, had no fucking idea what was going on. But it looked like a lot of fun. So, and Dragon Ball Z 20 years later is just as relevant, probably a lot more relevant than it was back then. So that's really kind of huge, kind of a huge accomplishment. So congrats to the creators of that show. So yeah, and Thomas agreed. Transformers and Dragon Ball, woo! Yeah, I watched a shitload of Transformers when I was a kid, but there was a line. There was a line to Transformers. I saw the first Transformers movie, not the live action shit with Michael Bay, the animated movie that came out in the 80s. And it ended my love of Transformers completely. Completely ruined it. Completely ruined it. You know why? Spoiler. They kill Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime dies like at the beginning of the movie. And Optimus Prime was my favorite character. And they killed him right at the beginning of the movie. Like, what the fuck could you have possibly been thinking? Killing Optimus Prime, for Christ's sake! For Christ's sake, let's go to hell, guys. This is upsetting. And when I talk about upsetting things, I do it from hell. Because, there was a time back before, continuity and things like that actually mattered to audiences, or people at least accepted that continuity mattered to audiences, where they would just go, it's just a character, we'll kill him off and the kids will fall in love with this other character. They could never get away with that now, and they didn't even get away with it back then because people were outraged that they killed fucking Optimus Prime. So also go nuts with the emotes when I'm in any of these scenes, when I'm live on the screen in any way. Go nuts with the emotes. They work pretty much everywhere. Dartone the Third asks, Anarchy and Bedrock says Snorks were awesome. I watched both the Snorks and the Smurfs, and I can co-sign on that, Anarchy and Bedrock. I absolutely agree. The Snorks were awesome. And when I realized later on that they were just kind of a weird, strange copy of the Smurfs in the water, it was no longer a surprise that the Snorks weren't actually on TV very long. Dartone the Third asks, did you at least watch Gundam Wing? No. I have not watched any anime. Like any. I've seen a couple anime movies that I loved. Have you guys ever seen Perfect, I think it's called Perfect Blue? I watched it a couple months ago and it was really, really good. Definitely one you should check out if you get a chance. It's a movie. Perfect Blue is kind of about the celebrity system in Japan, which is called the idol culture, and kind of how it goes to these extremes and gets really, really out of hand. Should definitely check it out. I believe it's called Perfect Blue. Oh my gosh, look at all this. Thomas MTN 543, that was sad. Optimus Prime was awesome. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And guess whose favorite he was? He was my favorite. And they killed my favorite guy right at the beginning of this movie that I was so excited about. Now, there's a couple other confessions I should probably make. One is, I wasn't just into G.I. Joe and He-Man, y'all. I was into She-Ra. And when I was a little kid, I was super into My Little Pony. That's correct. I was a brony before bronies were a thing. I loved My Little Pony. I had a Barbie doll, Ken doll, and I had My Little Ponies. And I was super into it. I thought it was great. And some of the men in my life, like my dad and a few others, were like, you know, not actively discouraging me, but just kind of acting kind of nonplussed by my interest in these things. And when the My Little Pony animated movie came out, my grandfather took me to see it, and he absolutely loved it. And he and I just loved this My Little Pony movie together. Now, I fell out of My Little Pony. I don't even really remember much about it, but it was fucking awesome when I was a kid. I was also into She-Ra, loved She-Ra, but getting back to the cartoon thing, so I watched a lot of Nickelodeon, and there was this split cartoon. It was a 30-minute show, and there were two cartoons within it that were each 15 minutes long, and one was Heathcliff, and the other was Riff Raff, and they were both cats, and they had very distinct personalities, and at the time, I loved them. I watched it all the time, but I have no idea what happened to it. And lastly, an important cartoon that I also loved was the Ghostbusters cartoon. I thought it was awesome, and the irony of it was that the guy who voiced Peter Venkman, Bill Murray's character from Ghostbusters, also was the cartoon voice of Garfield. And then the irony of that was that Bill Murray was later the voice of Garfield in the Garfield movies. Ah! It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. All right, let's go back. I'm just doing something here real quick. All right, Freddie Dalmastar in the chat. What up? Freddie Dalmastar. Ooh, got some good stuff here. Original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So my brother was a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. And for whatever reason, I would watch it with him and kind of enjoy it, but I wasn't like a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, but I did enjoy it. Gargoyles. I was a little young for Gargoyles. The RoboCop cartoon. Freddie, please say more. Tell us more about this RoboCop cartoon. We can look it up ourselves, but it's much more fun when you tell us. Animaniacs. Yes, Animaniacs. So I was getting a little old for kids' cartoons, let's say, when Animaniacs dropped. But when I saw it, I recognized immediately the genius that came into that show, and the genius of the songs that they wrote, and the genius of just the very, very deep wit that permeates Animaniacs. I just saw a couple clips of Animaniacs a few weeks ago, and it holds up so easily. It's so good. Pinky and the Brain, the Animaniacs, the America song. I mean, just amazing shit. Animaniacs was absolutely incredible. Garfield and Friends is the show I also watched intensely. Men in Black, I didn't ever see Men in Black. What about Dexter's Laboratory? Did anybody watch Powerpuff Girls when they were younger? Because I watched a shit ton of Powerpuff Girls, and it was awesome. Bear with me just a moment. Sorry, y'all, had to sneeze. I had to sneeze. Naomi Baomi Faomi's in the chat. Hello, friends. Just showed up. I'm partially here. Haha, what's happening? Yes, a lot's happening. We're talking about cartoons, Naomi. And it's become a really fun conversation. Freddie Dalmastar adds, oh, and the original Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, I think I watched a few episodes of that. I also should add the X-Men animated series from the 90s was dope. Oh shit, Anarchy at Bedrock says Danger Mouse. Yes, I love Danger Mouse. Danger Mouse was amazing. That was such a good cartoon. I really need to track down the old episodes of that. I think it was on Netflix at one point. I'm not sure if it still is, but I would totally rewatch Danger Mouse. That was some great shit. I love that. Thank you, Anarchy and Bedrock. Also, Anarchy and Bedrock says Inspector Gadget. Yeah, I watched Inspector Gadget all the time. Love that shit. Penny with her computer book. Remember she had a computer book? I always thought that was so advanced and cool when I was a kid, which is exactly what they wanted me to think. But yeah, the notebook, the computer book was awesome. And it looks like we got some love for the Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Laboratory from Dartone. Naomi Baomi Faomi's super into Powerpuff Girls too. Dartone the Third, X-Men the animated series gets dark. I'm surprised I was able to watch it. I really only watched like the first 2 seasons of the animated series, if I'm being honest. I know that they went into like the Dark Phoenix and all this other stuff, but I just never saw it myself. So couldn't comment on it too much further than that, other than X-Men the animated series has one of the greatest themes of all time. So if you're at home right now, all right, that's the X-Men animated series song. This is a good time for a dream break purchased with $1 by Anarchy and Bedrock. Here you go. That was our man Noel Brass Jr. with the excellent ambient synth waves. Noel is an absolutely fantastic musician. I dropped a link to his music. Go check it out. Give him a follow at the very least. Dude has been on the cover of some really great magazines, including Earshot Jazz. So Noel is a really, not only just a great musician, but a really cool person too. We got a bunch more comments here. Thank you all for that. Thomas MTN says, Chowder, my favorite show. Woo! Chowder. Not sure. Chowder? Freddie Dalmastar, the RoboCop animated series aired for 1 season in 1988. And Dexter's Laboratory was the shit! Dexter's Laboratory. I am in the laboratory. Naomi Baomi Faomi. Like the classic Hot Wheels Battle Force 5. Haha. I can't say I'm familiar. Please tell me more, Naomi. Dartone the Third says Wolverine cries in a church because he's angry at God. It gets real. Wow. Oh, that's not hard for me to imagine. The X-Men were always kind of heavy. I mean, there's not like ever like a carefree time in the X-Men. From their time of their inception to now, the X-Men are kind of always facing some kind of horrific, moralistic trial of some type. So that's not surprising to hear. Thomas MTN says Chowder was a cartoon in Cartoon Network. I'll have to check it out, Thomas. Thank you. And Freddie Dalmastar says Men in Black, on the other hand, aired for 4 seasons starting in 1997. I had no idea. And apparently, Freddie, it sounded like it's pretty good. So maybe we should check it out sometime. And then Anarchy and Bedrock just resubscribed, by the way, and has subscribed for 4 months straight. And I just want to say, Anarchy and Bedrock, thank you so much. Your support means a lot. It means a lot that you all kick in, your subscription every single month. We work hard here at Weird at Night and the Find Your Weird and the Weird community. We work very hard to try and entertain you all, and that subscription really does go a long way. So thank you so much, Anarchy and Bedrock, and everybody who subscribes to Weird at Night. Freddie Dalmastar says, "Oh, I can't believe I forgot Rocko's Modern Life." That is another cartoon that was way ahead of its intended target audience as far as age. So Rocko's Modern Life was very, very funny and very kind of sophisticated. Also, I can't believe I forgot Ren and Stimpy in the 90s, the original Ren and Stimpy from the 90s. That was amazing stuff. It was maybe kind of one of my first tastes of absurd, surreal comedy. And then in an animated context, it was even easier to buy into. But Ren and Stimpy informed so much about my sense of humor, informed so much about what I enjoy from absurdism and surreality, shall we say. Whew, what else we got? Oh, and Dartone the Third says, it's new, but Arcane is amazing, and I will stand it. You have continued to stand it, my friend, and more power to you. We will have to. We kind of have no choice but to check that out. Arcane, everybody, at some point. Now, just wanted to mention that I have a new single coming out, hopefully in June. It's called Shine On Moonlight. It's my first new release in 2+ years. I have an all-star band on that track. Drew and Hope from Boy Deluxe, formerly known as Everso Android. They live in LA now. They used to live up here in Seattle. Played a ton of shows together. They've contributed some tracks to this song. And Andy Ayers from Black Giraffe has played with Screens. Andy Ayers is a fantastic musician. We've collaborated in the past. Plays bass on this track. I think you're really going to like it. I shared it a little while ago as an in-process video. And I'm going to share it again right now to remind you. And then Drew and Hope and Andy are not on this version of the song, but they will be shortly. But I wanted to share kind of the process with you. So when it's done, you'll hear the difference. Here you go.
Shine on, moonlight. What did you leave for me? Shaking, awaking from a dream. And I know you can't survive the past, living in memories. And I know the moment's coming fast, but not what it means. And what have my hopes become when they have brought me to my knees? I keep hanging on, I keep hanging on. taken from a dream. And I know the moment's here at last, freed from the memories. And I saw the future of the past beg for release. Don't you realize there's something more than you or me? I keep hanging on, I keep hanging on, I keep hanging on, I keep hanging on.
Right. That was Shine On Moonlight. That's a track that I've been working on for a little bit. It's taken me kind of extra long because, well, essentially, I'm in college. I do Weird at Night. I have a job. There's only so much time in a day, but it sucks right now because I can't think of another time where music would be the one thing that I didn't have time for, but kind of ends up there sometimes right now. But it's almost done, and like I said, I got some amazing tracks from some of my collaborators. I'm really excited for you all to see kind of how it evolves and where it goes from here. I'm excited to know because I don't even know kind of what the end results will be. But yeah, you know, I think it's cool to share our processes with each other when you know you're in front of a friendly audience that's understanding, that isn't going to judge you or prematurely, you know, take the piss out of you, take the piss out of your creativity, like you all are so great. It just makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier to kind of expose yourself and share that about yourself. Oh, Naomi wants to go to hell. We can do it. And here we are. Here we find ourselves in hell. Let's go to hell. Let's do it. But while we're here, I thought maybe I'd actually play you a song. I hope y'all can hear that. I'm gonna turn down the shrieking a little bit. It's not something that most people can do in hell, but I'm kind of get a bit of a pass because I'm the host of Weird at Night, and even Satan kind of is workable if you just ask the right way. So let's do a Bowie song, huh? I'm an alligator, I'm a mama papa coming for you, I'm a space invader, I'll be a rock and rollin' bitch for you. Keep your mouth shut, you're smoking like a big monkey bird, and I'm busting up my brains for the words. Keep your electric on me, babe. Put your ray gun to my head. Press your space face close to mine, love. Freak out in a moon age daydream, oh yeah. Don't fake it, baby. Lay the real thing on me. The church of man love is such a holy place to be. Maybe, baby, maybe know you really care. Maybe
jump into the air. Keep your electric eye on me, babe. Put your ray gun to my head. Press your space face close to mine, love. Freak out in a moon age daydream, oh yeah. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Keep your electric eye on me, babe. Put your ray gun to my head. Press your space face close to mine, love. Freak out in a moon age daydream, oh yeah. Keep your electric eye on me, babe. Put your ray gun to my head. Press your space face close to my love. Freak out in a moon age daydream, oh yeah. Freak out, far out. That was David Bowie with Moon Age Daydream, babies. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's one of my favorite Bowie tunes. It's from the album Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. I think of any artist that I've ever actively emulated or taken influence from, David Bowie might be the one. The one I would say, if I could only name one, it would probably be Bowie. An absolutely incredible artist in every single way. Lived and died an artist's life and died an artist's death. You know, he was a guy who had a wealth of resources and things he had at his disposal, and yet he often advocated for the unknown and the brand new. He was never afraid of change. He was never afraid to evolve. And he was never... Oop, I got a bunch of reverb on my voice still. He was never afraid to evolve. He was never afraid to change. And that's something you have to respect about somebody like that. Just imagine this. So David Bowie came up with the Ziggy Stardust persona, right? He made one record as Ziggy Stardust. And then he said, you know, this thing that got me all the fame and attention that I've always wanted, the thing that got me the acclaim that I've always been hungry for, I'm gonna fucking throw it away and start over and do it all over again for the next record. Makes Aladdin sane, takes on persona after persona after persona. David Bowie never stayed in the same place very long. And I think sometimes it's like against nature to actually try to stay the same. Because change is the way of nature. It is what we are fundamentally kind of made to do. In one way or another. And so I would say that to you all is like, don't be afraid to take a risk. Don't be afraid to take a chance, because that chance may be the thing that makes all the other things you've already done seem almost infantile or small by comparison. I've evolved so much as an artist here on Weird at Night because I don't have the luxury of being perfect. I don't have the luxury of tinkering until I'm satisfied. I just have to output work every Tuesday and Saturday by 10 p.m. And if I didn't make anything, everybody's going to know. It's like a really good check on that perfectionism. Perfectionism can be really, really useful in certain applications, and it can be stifling. It can stunt you. It can leave you just stuck in place, because the truth is you could always do something better than you've done it. That doesn't mean that it'll have the same energy as the one that you have. It doesn't mean, and energy matters so much more than a perfect take. You know what I mean? So it's not about perfection. It's about good enough. No art is ever complete. It's simply abandoned. You have to walk away from it at a certain point. And I'm going through that right now with that song I just played you all, Shine On Moonlight. Is at some point I have to say this thing is done and I'm ready to let the world hear it. Of course, I could fix something in the mix. Of course, I could make it better. But I'm the only one who knows what those possibilities even are. And am I going to spend 6 months mixing one song? No. Thing has to get out the door at a certain point, and it's good enough. So really try to find good enough for you. Try to find good enough for yourself. Because if you make something that's good enough for you, it will most certainly be good enough for an audience too. So that's my advice. That's my creative advice for the hour. Dartone the Third says, you don't wear tight enough pants to be David Bowie. That's because no one wears tight enough pants to be David Bowie. I would posit the question, was David Bowie ever wearing pants, or was he simply painting his legs and his junk to just match the color he wanted to reflect? Because you're right, Dartone, I don't think it's actually possible to have pants that tight. And I mean, as evidenced by The Labyrinth, where you can optically see David Bowie's balls for most of the movie. I mean, his balls are just right there. They're just right there. And The Labyrinth, amazing film. But also, if you like David Bowie's balls, that's the movie for you. So check it out. You know, if you need help. Yeah. So ultimately, David Bowie is a long-standing inspiration to me and millions and millions and millions of other people to this day. There just hasn't been another person quite like him, and he is sorely missed in this world. Sorely missed. But speaking of amazing artists, I am really stoked. Kendrick Lamar dropped a new track a couple days ago called Heart 5, and his new album drops, I believe it's tomorrow. I'm so excited. There aren't a lot of pop artists, and I do consider Kendrick Lamar a pop artist in the sense that he is globally known. Okay, he is a huge star. But there aren't a lot of the people at that level that I actually get excited about their actual work. And Kendrick is one of those. He is, in my opinion, the greatest pop star currently in existence. Like, he's the one that I still get very invested in. I get excited about his new releases the way I was getting excited about Radiohead's new releases, or about a new Wilco record or something. Like, he's on that level of artists that I really hold in very high regard. And as always, this track that he dropped yesterday, Heart Part 5, it sonically apes no one. Kendrick is in his own territory, in his own terrain. There is lots of weird timing stuff that's going on in the song, especially for me as a musician, trying to count that song out and trying to understand how Kendrick understood where to come in is a feat in and of itself. I listened to the track about 4 or 5 times. It's great. Heart Part 5. Make sure you check it out. There's lots of cool disco swing in the choruses that you don't see coming at all. Like I said, I think Kendrick Lamar is a gift as a popular artist right now. It's amazing that somebody who wants to challenge their audience so much is getting an opportunity to on this grand a scale. So make sure to check out that new Kendrick Lamar. If you haven't listened to Kendrick Lamar before, it isn't like anything else you're gonna hear. It's great stuff. Great stuff. Well done, Kendrick. Well done. Well, I think what I think we might do now is a watch along. And a watch along tonight, we are going to watch The Final Flush, Waste Dump 69. With my commentary, I will turn the volume down at various times and kind of maybe give you some background on how we made the piece, or the story itself, or who came up with what, or maybe a little story about the filming of or the voiceover sessions. But we're about to watch it. I'm about to get really small. Heyo. So the most important thing to understand right off the top is this was Blazing Space's brainchild, okay? Blazing Space made this happen. This also came from TC Blackout. TC came up with huge parts of the plot of this entire thing that moved the Waniverse into an entirely new terrain. So please watch with that in mind. Watch with that in mind. I love
one more time, so
I love
no
how
one
Blazing
listens to the
Space has
We will drug
given
TC
Noirland
and get
life.
the keys to Paprika's cell. Once my daughter is free, Dartone and Patrick will lead an attack on the Trash Force ship.
Right, I see. So we're attacking the ship to free the princess.
No, you idiot. Paprika can take care of herself. We will enter the ship at the ship's weakest point, the kitchen. It's in the back of the ship. I'm saying we need to enter through the back door, like the butt of the ship. Get it?
We all knew
do you get it?
Dartone was going to
Once we
fit
get
something about the
inside
butt into
the
that
back
line, and he
door,
did not disappoint. He
we
never
need to
does.
kill
He
every
never does.
living
Dartone is
member of the
maybe
task
one of the
force
funniest,
once and
most
for all.
hilarious people to
Look, y'all,
record this stuff.
I appreciate
with
you
ever.
letting me out of my cage for this, but you don't really expect me to kill my cousin, do you?
I expect you to do what is necessary, Patty Galaxy. Raccoons are your favorite animal, aren't they?
That's what he told me.
Yes. Oh, okay. Raccoons are my favorite animal. I'm on your side.
Then it's settled. Mandy Ravage has agreed to fly us across the treacherous seas of Pinot Noir. We break into the ship's kitchen, and there I will have my revenge. Louis and Paprika will meet us there. And once we've annihilated the entire Trash Force, Trash Island will be ours.
Ahem! That's not exactly what we agreed to, King! Murder whoever you want! I only care about saving this planet from global warming! You can search the island for your precious artifact, but the trash goes with me.
Yes, you'll get your precious trash, and you can recycle it all. Once you've cleaned up Pinot Noir's littered shores, it will be a
Blazing
paradise.
Space is always finding cool ways to get littering jokes into these bits, and the Goblin Bird, of course, being upset about littering is
Yes, you're
a key part of the character.
You're
So I was very impressed.
We will rule this planet with the Earth Raccoons.
It's a masterful plan, and I call it
The Final Flush! This is Paprika's last chance to give us the goods on her sweetheart Dartone.
Awesome
and her little
transition.
pipsqueak king.
Awesome.
You hear me, TC? If you can't get her to confess today, it's curtains for the princess, and we'll flush her into the Red Sea.
Yes, Your Majesty. Go ahead and flush me, TC. Look who you've become. I'll never give you your answers, and now your evil queen is going to turn you into a killer. Fuck it. Better a full bottle in front of me than a full frontal lobotomy. Wait, you mean
Also,
that's
Paprika being kind
No
of a
fake
sadist and
torturing
kind of a
today?
masochist is
Why don't you
pretty
really torture me for
great
once?
character
I'm getting
detail.
bored in here.
When you
You
look
know
at the
what
way
you
this
are.
character had
You're a
been
coward.
explained up
You
until
know
that
that,
point, it made
TC?
perfect
You're a
sense.
coward.
But it was just one of those little flourishes that I would hadn't thought of that somebody did, and it's great.
Tough day at the office, boss!
You said, Louis. Alex is going to make me flush the prisoner. And you know what? It's just not fair. I hear she's creating an army upstairs of soldiers made from the trash dipped in that toxic seawater from Pinot Noir. Why can't one of those Manchurian candidates do it? But no, it's always TC do this, TC do that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't trust the seawater out there. Has a musky flavor to it. Here, boss, have another shot.
Thanks, Louie.
And another one. This should take your mind off the pain.
Thanks, Louie. If it weren't for you and the spectacle bear, I wouldn't even have friends around here. Ain't that right, Bear? You said it, Spectacle Bear. I'm no killer. A queen, she will have to find someone else to do her dirty work.
Who are you talking to, TC?
Spectacle Bear, he's right next to me.
Oh, shit. Looks like the poison's going to work on you,
So
TC.
when I can't even
shot?
begin to tell you what my reaction was when this story was pitched, and there was a spectacle bear that disappeared that certain people could see that other people couldn't see, and I was one of the people that couldn't see it, and
Bear.
it was going to lead to Dartone being the savior of the
one
Waniverse.
more.
I had no
come
fucking idea what the
I'm
hell
not
anybody was
what?
talking about. And then, once it was explained to me in explicit detail, I thought it was one of the most brilliant things I'd ever heard. And I stand behind that. This story has so much more to it still to come. But yes, the spectacle bear absolutely befuddled me, and I couldn't believe that Blazing Space pulled it off with the storytelling. It's really incredible work.
One for the road, as they say.
Thanks, Louie.
Finally! Dartone! Dartone, you hear me? I got the keys! Initiate the final flush!
Didn't I tell you idiots not to put this burrito in the microwave? What part of special and radioactive don't you understand?
The fun thing about this bit is we knew exactly where it was going, so we had been setting it up in a very intentional way for weeks before this actually aired, because we knew he had these crazy details that we needed to, we wanted to make it all fold into itself. Real neat and nice. Also very clever of Blazin to tell the story of this battle without actually having to make a million people getting destroyed. I thought that was really clever too.
Kind of fun.
Well, that makes one of us. I always knew I'd be motoring trash robots next to an out-of-touch Twitch host. By the way, how is Tinder going? Even I don't have a Tinder. We use paprikas.
Fuck you, Dartone.
Fuck you, Patty.
Stop! Before you two kill each other, please, save the king.
Father, no.
Dartone, my time has come. We fought valiantly.
Don't say that, King. You're gonna make it.
Dartone, there's something I must tell you. Something I've never told anyone. I was never meant to be king. I came from a poor family of space raccoons. We worshipped at Waste Dump 69 every day, but I received no trash bounty. One day, I killed the prince's brother behind a space shed, and I pretended to be him. I took over. I killed my stepbrother in the night, and I rose to prominence. My name, it isn't the Space Raccoon King. It's Parzival. My name is
Parzival. Perfect name.
Parzival.
This is one of my favorite details of the whole thing.
Your Majesty, he's dead.
Why are you all crying?
I don't know how to tell you this, honey.
Shut up, Patrick. Let me tell her. Paprika, your father, he's
covered in ketchup. I can see him right behind you.
I'm not dead? Oh, would you look at that? Just a tasty, salty treat. Sorry for the concern, everyone.
We need to find Alex.
Wait, Patty. I have an idea. We need to find Alex.
Follow me.
This is what I mean. This show would just not be the same without Blaze in Space. Yeah, you like the Trash Force stuff on the boats killed me. Blazin setting up that whole catch-up thing because we had this whole raccoon voyage that the king was going to go on after Final Flush. I mean, there were so many things that had to be set up, and Blazin and TC Blackout really came up with an amazing plan to do it all. Watching this, it's just like, wow, there was so much underneath the surface that they were planting seeds for in this piece.
It's been lost for centuries, and now it will be mine.
Euphony of the Month is asking who voices all the raccoons. They are almost entirely voiced by Blaze in Space.
Paprika!
But Paprika is voiced by
You'll
TC
pay for
Blackout.
that, Queen Alex.
About time you started calling me by my true title, Dartone. I've been calling you on your shit from the beginning. I was the mod of justice in the Weird at Night chat. I see a lie coming long before it arrives. And the lie about the space raccoons from Mars is finally going back in the box. All of you are going away when I destroy Waste Dump 69 once and for all.
Alex, you wouldn't! What about Weird at Night? What about everything we've built?
Forget it, Patrick. If she activated that burrito at Waste Dump 69, we're all doomed. Every mystery gets solved. Every outcome completes itself. Fiction meets reality. Truth meets lies. Up meets down. It's the end of a fiction verse as you know it. It's like everything already happened, so it never needs to happen again. Your cousin is about to right-click on our lives and select empty trash.
What I can't figure out.
One of the
is how
greatest
she found the
lines.
burrito
One of the
before
greatest
we did.
lines.
We have an army of raccoons on our side.
Sure, you filthy little animals have opposable thumbs, but did Dartone teach you about Wi-Fi? It was Patrick Galactic who revealed the burrito to me.
Someone threw an entire burrito at me on the street!
But I showed them. I only ate half of it and threw it in a vortex out of spite. I only ate half of it and threw it in a vortex out of spite.
You idiot! You littered into a vortex?
Anyone who watched Weird at Night knows that vortexes do not fuck around. With a few simple calculations, I was able to deduce that Patrick's half-eaten burrito traveled back in time and landed on Mars, where it was worshipped by primitive space raccoons. When Mandy turned on Mandolin's Utopion machine in Noirland, the burrito transported once again, but this time it landed on Trash Island, just off the coast of Pinot Noir. Any questions?
Do you poop? Because every time you talk, it sounds like you're completely full of shit.
How predictable. A poop joke from Dartone III. Burrito, activate Waste Dump 69.
What the fuck, guys? What? Oh shit! Whoa!
Also, props to Blaze in Space for turning the space burrito into another trash littering joke. I was very impressed.
Oh no. Where the hell are we?
Man, shit, I don't know, Trey. This is live coverage from the Winterverse on Mars.
I think this is
It
what
was
they
very
must
surreal
call
for us to
Waste
have
Dump
converged in
69.
this piece.
Paprika, you're alive. Oh, thank God.
To actually get Omari and
Not
Trey
again!
in a piece
Not
was like
again!
a huge accomplishment for us.
Hey, Blaze,
Huge.
what's up?
TC! Are you drunk?
You got me wasted. Have you met my new friend?
No, not now, TC. We have to try and save the Wanaverse.
It's too late. Queen Alex is gonna activate the burrito.
There's no hope. Everything we prayed to for centuries is in the hands of the evil queen.
You fools! This is the end of everything, and no one can stop me. Not even the Queen of Everything can reverse the radioactive burrito. I finally get to say it. I can't believe it, but I'm finally saying these words. I'm going to kill you, Dartone III. I'm going to kill you right now.
There's nothing we can do.
Wait. There's something we can do. We have to believe. Believe in me.
The moment
and
where it all changed.
We can be saved. Follow me, and I will rescue you from certain damnation and death. Believe in Dartone, and we will be rescued. I can feel it. I'm the one. I'm the Highlander. I'm the one whom destiny calls friend. I am Dartone III. Believe in me, and we will be saved. For the first time in my life, I'm not lying, and it feels great.
We believe in Dartone. Dartone will save us. We believe in Dartone. Dartone will save us.
Will save
We
us.
believe in Dartone. Dartone will
We
save
believe
us.
in Dartone. And for those of us who are a little new to the show, Alex and myself had been so diametrically opposed to the existence of Dartone for an entire year before this piece that me saying Dartone will save us was a pretty big fucking deal. Same for Alex, same for Blaze in Space. So for Dartone to suddenly become the actual savior of the Waniverse was I felt that was an unpredictable twist.
He doesn't know what else to do, but the bear will save us.
Shut up, TC. We're trying to pray to Dartone to save the Waniverse. No one sees a bear here. You don't know what you're fucking talking about.
You damn fools! He's right there! He's gonna save the day!
I don't see anything, TC. You're wasted. Just pray to Dartone and hope for the best.
We believe in Dartone.
Dartone
will save us. We believe in Dartone. Dartone will save us. Oh my God!
It's working! It's working!
All hail Dartone! All hail Dartone!
It's working? I mean, yes. Yeah, of course it's working. Yes, believe.
Also, huge props to Dartone. Played it perfectly. Perfectly.
Dartone did it! He saved the day!
We believed in Dartone, and it saved the Waniverse.
I was wrong. But how? I didn't believe, but I should have. Dartone was a messiah. He had special powers. He knew about the raccoons, but I didn't listen. Dartone was right. Dartone was right?
This is so weird.
You're telling me Dartone III actually saved the day!
Speech! Speech! Speech!
Speech! Speech!
My loyal followers, listen. I see you. You believe in me today, and through your belief, I was able to make a miracle happen. Really, it was you that gave me the strength. Now, I have the power! But justice must be done. For Queen Alex, the leader was formerly known as the Ass Force. Yeah, I said it wrong on purpose. Fuck you. The worst hell imaginable. You will work retail. You will have customers, but it will never be so dead that you can read a book. It will never be so busy that the time goes by. You will forever be folding the same shirts, answering the same questions. Every day you will deal with a Karen, and not a regular Karen, like a YouTube Karen. You know what? I'm a merciful messiah. Let's say for 6 episodes of Weird at Night.
No!
But wait, there were two sides to this war. For true justice, we must also look to the space raccoons.
What's this? You turn against your own side?
No, King, just you, Parsifal.
Oh my god, I think his name is Parsifal.
You told me some pretty fucked up stuff back there in the heat of battle. Before my authority is challenged, you've got some things you need to figure out. Therefore, I banish you to the Chamber of Self-Discovery.
The day is saved! All thanks to you, Dartone! Let's head back to the Waniverse and celebrate this miraculous occasion!
Good idea, Patty. From now on, I will call you Patwick.
Whatever you say, Messiah. Shall we?
Wait! Before any of you go anywhere with Dartone, you have to know he's lying to you. It's just another one of his cult tricks. He's trying to get followers. I saw the person who saved us, and it wasn't a person. It was a big bear wearing spectacles.
What's the meaning of this? Did any of my loyal Dartonians see a bear with spectacles?
I didn't see anything. Dartone did it. That's what I saw. She was just floating there.
I don't know.
I didn't see it. I don't know.
What the fuck are they talking about?
I must apologize, Messiah. That's on me. I had to overserve TC here back at the Trash Force ship to get the keys to free Paprika. They're just drunk and talking nonsense. No one could see this big bear they're talking about.
But it was there! I saw it! Blazing Space, come on, we've been friends for years. You saw it, didn't you?
Sorry, buddy, but I saw what everyone else saw. Dartone made a miracle. I didn't see a bear.
It was the bear with spectacles. Dartone is lying to you all. It was the bear with spectacles. Dartone is just lying. It was the bear with spectacles, not Dartone. It's the bear.
Let's get you some coffee, TC, and see how you feel after a nap. Sorry about that, Dartone.
So that settles it. Let's all pray to me and celebrate this stupendous day.
So, you can see Dartone, obviously, previously the biggest heel shithead of Weirded Night, becomes the savior, turning everything on its head. Alex F&V hated Dartone even more than Patrick Galactic did. So Alex having to reconcile with being wrong was a big deal. The other thing about Dartone and Alex that I love is that they are kind of diametrically opposed, but they're so similar as characters. They essentially are basically the same. They're both very sure of what they think, but won't acknowledge any other way, any other thing. So Alex and Dartone are kind of reflections of each other in a way, right? They both claim to have some kind of understanding that goes beyond all of ours. And at various times, they've both been exposed for being too extreme and wrong. And that's what often happens when you have people who have black and white solutions to every problem. There's a lot they haven't thought of. And so we kind of exposed that with Alex F&V. But, you know, there's a lot in our stories here on Weirded Night that we do try to weave some kind of message or some kind of, I don't know, some kind of reality into, even though they're largely symbolic of, Dartone says he's the Batman to Alex's Joker. I think she'd see it the other way. I think you both see it probably exactly the same, but just in reverse. But yeah, there's generally some kind of theme or message from these big conclusions. And so they're in there if you want to look for them. I don't want to talk too much about that stuff because I have my own version of what I think it is. Blazing Space has their own version of what they think it is. Even though we made so much of this together, we still have very, we have our own perspectives. And so I don't want to speak for the whole team. But one thing that arose from that story was, for me, it's the danger of extreme thinking. It's the danger of black and white thinking.
It's the idea of people who say they have the answers and you should listen to them, that they are the ones you should respond to, are really people you should always be very cautious of, because people who are kind of deranged enough in a way to think that they have all the answers, you kind of have to be deranged to think that in the first place. So with that said, you should listen to everything I say, because I know what I'm talking about and I have all the answers. So Final Flush, that was Final Flush. Thank you all for your comments and for hanging out and watching that with me. Also, just a reminder, Weird at Night airs on Tuesdays and Saturdays at 10 p.m. every Tuesday and Saturday. So we will be live with episode 202. We're already on the path to 300. But we will be live at 10 p.m. Pacific this Saturday. We got a cool show in the works. It sounds like we'll venture further into the Chamber of Self-Discovery with King Parzival. We have some really cool artists that we'll be sharing. Occlusions will be an artist that we share. But yeah, we have some really cool stuff coming down the pike, so I'm very excited to share it all with you. But just throwing it out there to the community, I had asked the group that we had at the beginning of the show, have you ever been in love with a cartoon character? And if so, which character is it? From which show? And also, were you a child or an adult when you were in love? And also, what cartoons did you grow up with? What was formative to you? What cartoons helped shape who you are? We want to know. And we've talked about a lot of different ones, but we'd love to hear from those who haven't answered yet. I got a new question for you. What's the coolest concert you've ever been to? What was the greatest concert experience you ever had? Who is on your bucket list to see still? And who was on the bucket list that you've already seen? Concerts were a huge part of my life, and I'm not just talking about local shows. I'm talking about big arena shows. I've seen so many amazing concerts. The best concert experience I ever had, though, and it just can't be argued with, was myself, a woman who I no longer talk to anymore. Euphony of the Month says Jessica Rabbit was a character he might have been a little in love with. And you know what? I was too. Jessica Rabbit was hot. She was drawn to be hot. And, that very lounge singer, 1940s lounge jazz kind of singer vibe. Yes, me too, Euphony of the Month. That's all I'll say. But this concert experience I'm talking about, Dartone from the chat here says Bulma from DBZ, Dragon Ball Z, and pretty much anyone on Cowboy Bebop. I've never watched Cowboy Bebop. I've never watched Dragon Ball Z. But I'm sure they're very attractive. I'm sure they're very nice ladies, or men, whoever we're talking about here. So I have been a big fan of the band The Zombies for my whole life. Time of the Season was their big hit. Tell Her No, She's Not There. Those were all hits for them. But they kind of faded into obscurity relatively quickly in the late 60s. They broke up. I mean, in 1970, the lead singer of The Zombies was selling insurance for one of his family members because it was the more practical career. Anyway, they were together for a brief time, but they made a lot of music, and it's very, very good. And in like 2002, 2003, maybe, Steven Van Zandt from the E Street Band had his own radio show on Sirius XM. I don't know what it was at the time. Sirius, maybe. Had his own show called Little Steven's Underground Garage. And they announced a tour of Little Steven's Underground Garage, and playing at what was then called the Graceland, but is now called El Corazon, was Little Steven's Underground Garage was coming through this area, and headlining the show was the Zombies, who I didn't know had even gotten back together. This was 27 years after they had made their last recording. They got together and did this tour. And we got tickets, me, my dad, and my ex-wife. We got tickets. We get in the venue. I don't care about anybody else on this bill at all. Could give two shits. I'm not even entirely convinced it's the right people. It's the right band. But right before their set, the last band played, and everybody just kind of walked to the bar as if they were just, kind of being very casual. And we were like, we are going to press to the very front of the stage. Well, as it happens, it was the right Zombies. And I was about 2 feet from Colin Blunstone's foot the whole time. I could have reached out and tripped him if I had wanted to. But I got to see the Zombies 5 feet away play like a 2-hour set that just blew my fucking mind. It was the coolest show I've ever been to. I've never felt so lucky and kind of elated to be in such a small room with a band so amazing. They've since been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now when they come to Seattle, they play like the Showbox on the Market, or they play Benaroya Hall. I've seen them one other time live since, and it absolutely blew my mind again. The Zombies are one of my all-time favorite bands, and I'm so fortunate that I can say that I was able to see them. So I want to know, who have you seen live that totally blew your mind? Was there somebody you always wanted to see that you got a chance to, and it's a memory you'll have forever? Let me know. I'd love to talk about it. But another thing that I would love to talk about is another artist that we just had on Weird at Night this last Tuesday, and it's for a very particular reason. We had the artist, Swedish artist Hilma af Klint, and her work, Paintings for the Temple, this particular period of her work. It's my favorite visual art ever. But she has a fascinating story. And I was just going to say, I didn't have enough time on the show to speak about it in a lot of detail. So I kind of wanted to talk about it tonight because I think you'll be able to see from her story that people come from so many different places with so many different backgrounds. So I'll read a little bit of this with you. It says, paradoxically delicate and powerful, the art of Hilma af Klint quietly and privately delivers a loud and essential message, creating abstract canvases 5 years prior to the first by Vasily Kandinsky, who is up until this time considered the father of abstraction, and experimenting with writing and drawing guided by the unconscious decades before the Surrealists. At like a solid 10 years before the Surrealists. Decades is overstating. The woman was a pioneer. Described as a mystic and a medium, af Klint conducted seances and communicated with spirits, even receiving a message from higher forces to create her most notable devotional body of work, Paintings for the Temple. Yet, af Klint's sensitivity surrounding the ethereal was married to an analytical and scientific way of navigating the world. She was an eager botanist, well-read in natural sciences and in world religions, with unsurpassed wisdom and an anticipation of human foolishness. Not only did af Klint state that her work was not to be shown once, never, for 20 years following her death, but she also stipulated that no work could be sold separately, ensuring that her artworks could not be misunderstood commodities. She did everything in her power to make sure that her work would be received the way it was originally intended. So this is a woman doing seances in 1906, then making these incredible abstract color paintings. And we're about to look at a few of them. I can't tell you how much I love her work. Hilma af Klint is my absolute favorite painter ever. Her work speaks to me in a way I've never seen somebody else. Just nobody's been able to strike the same chord in me. So we're going to go over to look at some of her work now, and the specific paintings we were talking about. So these are the paintings of the temple, paintings for the temple. And there's three very notable ones, and I'm going through an image search. I'm trying to find this, trying to find a good shot. These are the paintings here. Got another browser window opening. Oh man, it's taking us to Facebook. Fuck that. Let's see if we can get there. Back channeling through you, Facebook. All right, so this is from the Guggenheim's website. I wish these pictures were a lot bigger, but look at the size of these paintings. Now, these aren't the paintings that I was specifically looking for, but we will find those paintings. You rest assured. But her work is using color and shape in a way that was wholly original and completely outside the cultural norms of its time. And she was using the automatic process, which we use for auto writes. Hilma af Klint was using that years before the Surrealists really kind of grabbed it and ran with it. This is what I wanted to find. Now, these are the paintings of the temple that I was looking for. So this is, I kind of wanted to give you an idea of the size of this. These two on the left and the right are inversions of each other. It doesn't take a lot to see that. There's a temple pointing down and a temple pointing up. One is black, one is like rainbow multicolored. And then this painting in the center is kind of equal parts of both, right? So these three pieces clearly go together. The painting on the far right is my very favorite painting ever. It's this one. I'm bringing it up here. The one on the left here, the pyramid pointing to this sun, this kind of sun. It's one of the most beautiful paintings. It's maybe the most beautiful painting I've ever seen. It just speaks to me in such an important way, such a deep, visceral way. And so this painting then, I actually own, not the original, obviously. I own a print of it, but this painting is called Group X number 2 Altarpiece 1915. It's an inversion of that same painting that we were just looking at. So these two things are speaking to some kind of, dichotomy, some kind of duality within the human spirit. Af Klint seems to be speaking to that duality in all of her work, in everything that she does. So really, she made so much more than this. So you really want to check out more of her work. But Hilma af Klint is my favorite painter ever. I think I talked about her in one of the very first episodes of Weird at Night. So please do check in and learn more about Hilma af Klint. Euphony of the Month is chiming in, and Queens of the Stone Age is one of the best bands I've seen live on Songs of the Deaf tour. I would have loved to see them on that tour. I actually saw them live as well. They opened for Soundgarden the last time I saw Soundgarden, and they were great. They were a fantastic live band. Super tight. Yeah, really, really good. Dartone III said Hootie and the Blowfish is another band that surprised me live. I'm not sure if he's being serious or not. You never know with Dartone. He also said Sum 41, not my favorite band, but they showed up 45 minutes late and rocked the house. Actually only got the tickets because I was broke and the tickets were cheap. Why not? Why not, right? Why not? It looks like we got a bunch of new eyes in the chat right now. So hello to those of you who've just joined us. Good to have you here. We are talking about art. We're talking about music. I had asked the community, what's one of the coolest concert experiences you've ever had? It can be a local show, a big ass show, whatever. I just want to know who'd you see? Who's on your bucket list to see still? I don't actually have a lot of people on my bucket list at this point. Noir Grime just entered the chat. Hello, Noir Grime. They just rated us with a party of 6. That's why everybody's here. So thank you, Noir Grime. Thank you to the folks who came to us from Noir Grime. Always happy to have you all with us. Noir Grime is very much like a sibling organization doing really cool shit and showing their process for how they make art. Bill Beats, Shubzilla, and the crew over there are awesome. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. I love a party, so thanks for being here with us. I think I might take this time now to maybe play you guys another song. What do you think? Also, we can look at anything on the internet together, okay? So if you have a topic you want us to learn about together, throw it in the chat. Just tag me, throw it in the chat. If there's a topic that you always wanted to study, but you never actually did, oh no, the raid didn't work. That's too bad. It said you were raiding from my side, so that's too bad. But thank you anyway. It is the thought that counts. Twitch is bugging. That does happen. So thank you all regardless. But I kind of lost my momentum there. I'm sorry, y'all. Don't know what I was trying to say, but I think I'll just play you a song from hell. Let's do it. The sinners and the saints, we all hang out in the same place, baby. All right. So I'm going to play you a song I wrote when I was 20 years old. It's the only song from that time that I still play every once in a while. I used to play it at the airport when I performed there regularly. The song's called Mr. Wicked. And like I said, I actually wrote the song when I was about 18, I think. Mr. Wicked, always tickled to see a brand new face. Why exclaims, I believe I know your name. To all surprise, Mr. Wicked's eyes love a sad sky and stormy nights. Now it says with a 6 smile, why don't you come inside? Sad and shifty painted mustache between his 2 black eyes. I can make you a millionaire if you wanna go for a ride. Known a few, if any at all, Mr. Wicked doesn't like to play. He's into hardbacks, hard cash, fame, and glory hunting. Nobody gets in his way. Mr. Wicked, you play a card and then you set for the kill. Mr. Wicked, I know you're around and you never get your lie, cheat, steal. Mr. Wicked, you play a card and then you set for the kill. Mr. Wicked, I know you're around and you never get your fill. Mr. Wicked, you're wicked, man. Lie, cheat, steal. Yeah, Mr. Wicked. Like I said, I wrote that song when I was about 18 years old. And I'd already had a little run-in with some music industry people. A long story that I won't explain here. Celestial Bean Art is tuned in for the first time tonight. Hello, Celestial Bean Art. If you're new to the channel, I would highly recommend giving us a follow so you get notified each and every time we go live. Weird at Night is live on Tuesdays and Saturdays at 10 p.m. We share art, we share music videos. We're all over the place. We have sketch comedy that we create. We show sketch comedy from other people. It's a lot of fun. It's a very, very cool party. And so make sure you follow the channel so you're in the loop because we would love to have you along. So you'll get notified each and every time we're live when you follow the channel. So Naomi just mentioned somebody that that I'm not familiar with. So let's check it out. Let's do a little study together, huh? So Naomi's talking about Georgiana Houghton, a British artist and spiritualist medium. Let us check that out. See what we get. Yes, I did. That is what I meant. Born in 1814. I wish they would show more of the actual work. That would be cool. Let's not look at this. Failing me. Okay. Damn it. Still not a lot of pictures here. Okay, let's just try just looking in an image search. All right. So here's one of her pieces. Courtesy of our friends over at The Guardian, who did a great job of making it a very small image. Let's just search for large stuff. So Naomi was saying that this was actually recommended to her because it reminded somebody of her work, which I can totally see with these spirals and kind of this reminding me of the same thing Naomi's work reminds me of, which is kind of these spirals that kind of maybe speak to the fabric of our being. Maybe things that, let's see if this is better. Yeah, this is a picture of Georgiana Houghton right here. But yeah, things that kind of speak out. And here's somebody making a very obvious comparison to her and Hilma af Klint. That's a Georgia O'Keeffe work. God, it is really just hard to find an uninterrupted gallery of her work. Let's see. Online gallery. Welcome to my life. I use Google like a 97-year-old. Here's a really pretty one. Oh, that's really pretty. Let's see. Well, as you can see, made lots of use of lines and texture, and in a way that I do feel is very similar to Naomi, Baomi, Faomi, and much along the lines of the. Oh, okay. Naomi just dropped the Instagram link. Thank you, Naomi. That's much better. I don't know why I didn't think of Instagram. When you're live, sometimes the most obvious stuff doesn't occur to you. But yeah, let's look at a few of these. Thank you, Naomi. So yeah, you can see it's like an experimentation of color and lines and textures. This is really beautiful stuff. I would love to learn more about her and share her on Weird at Night as well. She lived to be 70 years of age in a time when not many people did. She died in 1884, so quite a life. Born in 1814, so really kind of had an exceptional life for someone from that time. But yeah, you can definitely see there's, so this predates Hilma af Klint, and you can, see that, her work is held in a lot of reverence. And this, would very much predate abstraction. So I'd like to know more of her story because I'm just curious as to why this isn't better known. Here's somebody at a piece, it's a book. Never mind. But yes. So anyway, Georgiana Houghton, really, really interesting. Naomi Baomi Family says, you didn't think of Instagram because she died in 1884. That could also be. But when I consume some great art, kind of makes me want to get small. Yeah. That's right. Georgiana Houghton. Very cool stuff. Thank you for sharing that, Naomi. Very, very cool. Love it. All right, well, it's about time for me to take a little break, which I'm going to do. I'm going to take a 5-minute break. If you hang out, I'll be back in 5 minutes. No questions asked. If you take off, I understand. And if you guys feel like wrapping up, just let me know in the chat, but I'll be back in 5. Enjoy. Y'all there? Y'all there? Okay. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Thanks to those of you who stuck around. Hey, so I did step out to have a cigarette. And when I did, there was a little package on my door. And I was like, what could this be? What could this be? And then I looked down and it had my name on it. And then it had another name on it. It said, Weird at Night. And I got very excited. So, you all are here for a very special moment. And that is the moment where we introduce our new logo to Weird at Night. This is what my head looks like without my hat on. This hat is being retired. And the new one is being added. Check it out. Oh, holy crap. That's gonna have to bend this up and wow. Anyway, this is our new logo. The new Weird at Night logo, and it's been on the show already. But this is new hat, and it's in the store. You can go buy one yourself. Also, I got beanies with the new logo on them. I also got a Ryan Bryan shirt, which I'll try on at another time. But this is in the shop of Juan. If you go to weirdatnight.com/shop, you can check it all out for yourself. I'll drop the link in the chat just to be helpful. And then we got some cool comments and questions, so I will read those as well. But very exciting, very exciting. I'm very stoked. So let's see. So here's the link to the shop. Not.com/shop. Boom. That's in the chat. But looks like Naomi, Baomi, Faomi, and Euphony of the Month were talking about Georgiana Houghton. Euphony of the Month says spirit drawings. That is what they're called. And they certainly look like they have a spiritual component to them. Euphony says the spirals really draw me into the art. And I totally agree. I mean, when you have lines that lead you in a direction, your eye will follow them. That's just the nature of how we operate. So very, very cool. And Naomi, I'm kind of shocked that this existed and I've never heard of Georgiana Houghton. Dartone said I was pooping. Not true. Not true. Probably. But Naomi posted a comment that got blocked for a minute and then I unblocked it. These women may very much be actual spiritual mediums, but it makes me wonder if that was also a way for female artists to be accepted, permitted in their culture. If they just said they made that stuff up because they thought it looked cool, maybe they would have just been put in the loony bin. I think Houghton may have even said she was channeling a male spirit guide, maybe. Whether it's true or not, pure genius. Haha. Well, that's a great point, Naomi. And Vasily Kandinsky was celebrated as the father of abstraction when we know for sure that Hilma af Klint's work completely predates him and Georgiana Houghton's work completely predates both of them. So I do think that women were kind of put in a certain box. They weren't taken seriously at the time in the same way that male artists were. And obviously there was a lot that people missed from that time that we're just finding out about now. And there was also, to be fair, in the late 1800s, there was what was called the spiritualist movement, where it was very common for there to be like stage shows, etc. at the time of people who were conducting seances on a stage. There would be noises, in the theater. People were convinced they were channeling ghosts, that most of them admitted or were exposed as frauds. But the spiritualist movement was very strong throughout Europe and the United States in the late 1800s. So that may have had something to do with it as well. And for all we know, Georgiana Houghton might have influenced that actual movement because she was born before it all happened. So, yeah. So I think that there was a lot of ways to kind of discard the contributions of women from that time and previous times. And we find evidence of that every day, all the time. So you're right on point there, Naomi. I absolutely agree. Euphony of the Month asks Naomi Family, are you also a spiritual medium? To which Naomi says, well, Naomi says, I consider myself to be a mystic. I connect to the universal connective force. Some might call that the spirit world. So far, not connecting with anyone specific in that world. Well, really, when we do automatic writing, when we talk from that automatic place, we are trying to expose our inner narratives to the free flow of whatever comes through us. Okay, and we're foregoing our narratives so that we can have, so that we can maybe touch the ethereal unknown for just a few minutes. That's what I hope the point of the auto write is. That's certainly what I'm always attempting to do. I don't know that I always make it because I'm hosting a live stream at the same time, but that's the point of the practice, is to let go of your preconceived notions, let go of your criticisms of yourself, and simply try to clear your mind and free yourself up. You guys have been so fun tonight. This has been so fun that I think maybe, since we're talking about it, maybe we do an auto write? That's right, mon amis! Yes, the auto write, the tool of the surrealists that we've also learned was utilized before the surrealists by people like Hilma af Klint and Georgiana Houghton, which I do believe I saw some acknowledgement of that in the very brief amount of stuff I was able to read of hers. So, what's an auto write? Well, an auto write is an exercise where we try to get in touch with our unconscious mind and trust our unconscious creative impulses. I count back from 10, and as I do, you simply try to clear your mind. When I get to 1, I'll say go. When I say go, everybody just starts tippity typing whatever comes into your head. Type whatever comes into your head. You don't have to spell correct. You don't have to edit. In fact, that's kind of the wrong way to approach this. It's really about whatever came into your head. It probably would have misspellings if you were just typing whatever words came to mind. So don't spell correct, don't edit. Most of ours have typos and incomplete sentences. Don't worry about that. So after about 30 or 45 seconds, I'll say stop. When I say stop, we all hit enter or return on our keyboards. Everybody's auto write shows up in the chat and we read them out loud, and then we'll figure out what the hell to do from there. So, one more time, I'm gonna count back from 10. As I do, try to clear your mind. When I get to 1, I'll say go. When I say go, tippity type whatever comes into your mind for about 30 or 45 seconds. Till I say stop, we all hit enter or return. We read everybody's auto write, and then, like I said, we just figure out what the hell to do next. So, let's do this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get typing. Go. All right, and stop. Go ahead and let those show up in the chat here. I just dropped mine. So here's mine. Look at us here, and there's no one else near. But I feel so close to touching you that it's almost real. But not. It's a hyper reality that I consider a home. But I can't sit in it, and that means there's an important distinction to be made. Keep making it. Patrick Galactic, the centaur warrior who gave up to manufacture paperclips, would never approve. Give in to God. Trust the nacho-headed man. Trust the nacho-headed man. Naomi, Baomi, Faomi. Spirals in DNA, spirals in galaxies, spirals in the bathtub drain, spirals in hurricanes and tornadoes, spirals in delicate plants, spirals in ancient fossils, spirals in you. Very cool. I love it, Naomi, Baomi, Faomi. Euphony of the month. A distant sound of the bassoon. I think I'll scare me up a ghost at some point in my life. Probably not tonight, though. I'm really far too busy. Too busy for ghosts, but a late night sandwich sounds good. Yeah, let me scare one of them up, then eat it. Nom 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 noms. Great auto-write, great auto-write. Dartone the Third. Cell in hand, cigarette in another. Let's do an auto with one and another. My hands are slow like Millisoi, but they will put you in glasses. Dartone, were you trying to say molasses there? Better Kitty Meow. I was never in love with any cartoon characters when I was a kid, but I was in love with some trees. I think they love me back, but that's hard to know. But they help me feel rooted and strong. That's all I needed. That's beautiful. Better Kitty Meow. Better Kitty Meow. Fantastic stuff, everybody. Fantastic stuff. So, we have some questions that we put out to the audience tonight. I have another one for you. What is your favorite canned soup? I want to know, what is your favorite canned soup? Think about it. Better Kitty Meow and Euphony of the Month absolutely agree. They are too busy for ghosts right now. And aren't we all? I mean, usually when a ghost shows up, it's very inconvenient. Okay? And, sometimes when I astral project my consciousness into other people's homes at night, just so I can look at you all while you sleep, people think I'm a ghost, but I'm not. I'm just astral projecting. I'm just a weirdo. Not, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Also, Euphony of the Month with a distant bassoon. Wow, the bassoon. I haven't thought about the bassoon in quite a while. I've always had a hidden love of the bassoon. It's a very cool instrument, and it makes a very, very particular sound that's only right for very particular things. But when it's right, it's really right, baby. When it's right, it's just right. That's right. Let's get small. Rocking my new Weird at Night beanie. Jamming with you all. Soiree, sola, seda, que sera, sera. Yeah. I think I'm gonna play you guys a song, and then I'm gonna read about our soups, and then I think I'm gonna call it tonight. This has been a lot of fun. This has been a total blast. Euphony of the Month asked, does Rainier count as canned soup? My vote is yes. You know what, Euphony? Yes, it does. Also, is cereal a soup? No. Do not. That's why I said canned. Don't fuck with me, okay? No. Dartone the Third says clam chowder. I would pick clam chowder too. Dartone. Clam chowder is a very enjoyable canned meal to have. Euphony of the Month says bowling for soup cover? I forgot about that. Goddamn. Goddamn! Y'all are always bringing me back to things I thought I would never think about again, and here I am thinking about them. And thank you for that. But while we're small, let me play us out with something fun. Good night, Naomi. Thank you for hopping on. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for the Georgiana Houghton 411. I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. This has been such a blast tonight. Find Your Weird. I'm a big fan of this format. I hope you all are. I hope you're all enjoying yourselves and having a good time. And I'll be doing these every Thursday at 8 p.m. So we're not going anywhere. All right. So I said something fun. I don't really write fun songs. I should have probably phrased that a little differently. But what should I play? What should I play? Every step of the way, I drown in you. I hate myself to know it. I couldn't see it through every step of the way. I drown in you. I felt so damn uncertain, but I never knew what I could do. La da 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 la da 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 yeah. You could face up to the fact that you wasted your time with me. Don't you wanna be protected, love, at the look all your feelings slip away? Yeah, yeah. Oh, my love, I feel it. I feel it. I wanted to feel it so long. Yeah, when I look into your eyes, I see nothing beyond them anymore. Them anymore. Every step of the way, I drown in you. All right, and for my final song of the evening, I will play it From Hell for you. I find it very fun and ironic to do this song on this particular set. But this may be the song I just play at the end of every episode. It's a song I played at the end of many episodes of Weird at Night. many episodes of Find Your Weird to come. But this has a message that, you know, it used to be weird. I used to be kind of embarrassed to play this song in front of people because I thought it sounded like a Disney song or something. But you know what? It's one of the coolest things I've ever written. This song's called Has to Be Hard. Darto, you asshole. Don't give up on your dreams, because when they're gone, you lose them forever. Love is not what it seems. It has to be hard to keep it together. In love, love was all that I could give. In love is all I could be. Your dreams, because when they're gone, you lose them forever. Love is not what it seems. It has to be hard to keep it together. In love was all that I could give. In love is all I could be. Is all I could be. It's all I could be. It's all I could be. Well, turn that reverb off one more time. Hey friends, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I had a total fucking blast. I'm gonna go hop over to the Discord for a little bit. I probably won't be there a real long time. But if anybody wants to come chat over in the Discord, make sure that you do that. I'm gonna drop the link right now for anybody who may not have the link to our Discord or may not be a part of it now. You are certainly encouraged and welcome to join. It's how we stay in touch throughout the week. And we do a post-show Discord voice chat. So come to the community voice chat channel and we can have a smashing good time. But I'm Patrick Galactic, and this has been Find Your Weird. And, you know, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. That would have been cooler if I'd hit the button at the right time. Bye.